Hello, once again, this is Brother Teacher. Here recently, I was accused of being a racist. And the reason I was accused of being a racist is because I made a comment based on a video that I saw on YouTube. This video featured Karate Master Joe Louis, who is deceased now, God rest his soul, and Bob Wall, the karate master and martial arts co-starred Enter the Dragon and Return of the Dragon with Bruce Lee. This was some newly discovered footage from someone that they posted on YouTube, and I just discovered it myself. But I wasn't pleased with what I heard in the video. Now, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. However, I like calling something for what it is. And just because a person makes a statement that, you know, Bruce Lee taught them and Bruce Lee benefited them and Bruce Lee was my friend and Bruce Lee helped me fight better, you know, in my competitions and so forth, and he contributed to the fact that I became world champion, such as what Master Joe Louis stated in a couple of his videos. I'm not debating that. I believe that all of that is true. However, I do believe also that people have agendas, oftentimes. And I believe that he was one of those individuals that used Bruce Lee to get what he wanted or where he wanted to be in the martial arts. And he's not the only one. Chuck Norris, of course, was one of the other ones who got his stardom and or his fame through his initial contact with Bruce Lee in Return of the Dragon. Were they best friends? I don't believe so. Were they friends? On some level. But in Chuck's mind, Master Norris's mind, he was a friend of Bruce Lee with privileges or benefits, as some people might use the old cliche, friends with benefits. In other words, he was fortunate to have hooked up with Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee allowed him to play in Return of the Dragon in the capacity that he did. Now, I understand that he asked somebody else and they turned it down. It might have been Joe Louis or whomever. That's not the issue. The point is, many people have gained stardom and world recognition through Bruce Lee and through his name because of the contact that they had with him when he was living. It's really no simple matter to grovel over. We all know that this is true. This happened. A lot of people gave Bruce Lee his just due and said that if it were not for him, I wouldn't be who I am. I would have not had the stardom that I had. Jim Kelly was one of them. It's been many people, to include Dan Ensano and so forth. Okay, but what rubs me the wrong way is when people will not give an individual their just due because they have their own agenda and they want that person to sort of take the back seat to them once they have passed on, like Bruce Lee has. Many people are saying today and in the past year or so that I could have beat Bruce Lee. I was better than Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was just an actor. He wasn't that good of a martial artist. He was substandard, and that he was this guy that never won any championships and so forth. But they're basing all of that on sport karate. Go figure. Bruce Lee was not a sports competitor. He said that himself. He studied martial arts for fighting purposes only. It was to develop him, the person. Therein lies the discovery of his system of Jeet Kune Do, which was really solely for him. Jeet Kune Do was Bruce Lee. Okay, now he wanted everyone to take a page from that book of his, that is, and try to find your own self-discovery and find out who you are through the martial arts or any other endeavor for that matter. But to have these guys, you know, attacking people like myself who tell it like it is, and call you a racist because you're saying that old Bruce Lee, he had part German in him, and then he was married to a white lady. Okay, what in the world does that have to do with what I said? I said that white America has never wanted the face of their heroes, the face of their idols, to be anything other than a white American. That's the white supremacist mentality, not just the average white. That's the white supremacist, that 1% of people that are in power. They've never wanted a black person to be the best actor. They've never wanted a black person or an Asian to be the best martial artist or the best superstar in sports. They've never wanted that. It's never been intended that. That is not true to the ideologies of America. Ideologies of America is that whites reign supreme. Whites, for the most part, and you can call this a political statement or whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter, but this is the truth and it's a fact. Whites stole America. They almost killed the Indians or the Native Americans to the point of extinction to take this land from them and to claim it for themselves. Now, there was slavery in the 1600s all the way up until 1865 when it was supposedly abolished. But if slavery was abolished, then why did the Ku Klux Klan rise up? You know why? They always wanted America to be white. Not black, not Latino, not Asian, not Jewish, not anything else, only white. That's why they still exist today. Would there be a need for the Ku Klux Klan today if there were only white people in America? Probably not. But anyway, I didn't mean to go that far. But getting back to the original premise of this video was this. I made the statement that these guys were looking at a video that they found somewhere. Not Joe Louis and Bob Wall, that is. Someone else found the video and they uploaded it to YouTube. But anyway, it's a video of these two individuals, Bob Wall and Joe Louis, and they were criticizing Bruce Lee's technique. Joe Louis primarily. He was saying, look at where his hands are. And look at him wearing Chinese shoes and so forth. He was criticizing it, and them in tandem together were basically pointing out flaws in Bruce Lee's techniques. And then there was a statement made by Joe Louis that said that, oh, they didn't want the idol to be destroyed by a karate guy, speaking of Bob Wall, while they were showing the pictures. Now, all you have to do is look at the video that I'm referring to, because I put it in the link of the one video that I just responded to, that particular video, I should say. And most of the people that responded to that particular video that I'm talking about in question, they all are speaking the same way that I'm speaking. They said, how dare them disgrace Bruce Lee's legacy, talking about him after he's dead and how he had all of these problems, and that he was not a good martial artist or even a great martial artist. Now, I go back again and I say this. I don't disrespect any martial arts master, grandmaster, or practitioner. I'm saying this. I respect the individual's training and their accomplishments and their arts and so forth. But what I don't respect is when they bash other martial artists who, number one, can't defend themselves, and number two, to try to put themselves on a pedestal higher than that other person, especially when Bruce Lee, in this particular case, has already established who he is to the world. All of these years have passed since his death, and you have these guys still talking about, you know, he wasn't all that. He was just an actor. Michael Jai White saying that he could have beat Bruce Lee and so forth. Why? Why do you make these statements? And again, I'm going to say, America has never wanted a hero that wasn't white. They wanted their heroes to be white. They wanted Jesus in the Bible to be white. And we all know that Jesus was not white and blue-eyed and straight hair. We all know that. I'm not playing a so-called race card again. We know he wasn't, because no white man lived in Israel. No white man lived in Jerusalem. No white man lived in the Middle East during Jesus' time. And his name was Yeshua, not Jesus. That term, Jesus, that Anglo-Saxon or that English term, so-called English term of Jesus, came many, many years past that time. So you can't call him something that he wasn't. And so, backing up again, this guy that calls me a racist, it is impossible for me to be a racist. It's impossible for any black man to be a racist. A racist is anyone who controls all of every industry. They can control all of the resources. Who controls the resources? Black people don't. Every aspect of our existence on this planet is not controlled by any blacks, period. It's controlled by who? white supremacists. They control everything across the planet. Now, when you say somebody's a racist, who's the real racist? Those that are in power and empower ultimately and totally. What is that expression? Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. All right, this is Brother Teacher.